Good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming to Deb Chanel's 48 Square, where we do reality show reviews. The show I'm going to be talking about or narrating, giving my commentary on, is Cutting It in the ATL. Season 2, Episode 1, the title of the show is Natural Enemies. Okay, we have Maya, we have Beauty, we have Mashia, we have LaKenya, and we have Deirdre. That I do have pictures after you see the running um, title of the show. You'll see them in that order. And then you have Deirdre's sidekick, friend, slash hairstylist, Trey. And then you have best buddies of those two, a lady by the name of Pat Thomas, and she is calling herself the creator of the $50 Weaves hair salon. Anyway, those are the players in this particular episode for this season, and we go on with the summary that they give us. We have Deidre discovers Maya's shocking secret and plots revenge with a new scheming friend. Then we have Mushia, who I like to call Mushi, and Maya battles over their natural hairlines at a beauty event. Then we lastly we have LaKenya is forced to choose sides. So let's get on into the first scene of this episode. We have Maya is in one of her shops packing things up. She's closing two shops. She needs to consolidate, downsize so she can make more room and spend more time getting her empire ready for just distributing weeds. Where she's becoming a distributor, I guess, but she focused on just the hair weaves and not the salons that she's renting or suites that she's renting out of and hiring people to sew in weaves to her established clients. She feels that she basically her love and foremost viable income is just maintaining and keeping weave in her constituents that she deals with shops, as well as revenue coming in for herself. And the ideal of the 50 price weaves to have your hair sold in, and the full treatment of getting it styled comes in that realm. But she's trying to she's getting tired of it because of the overhead and the liability. I can see that. And she just want to focus more on being a distributor for hair and other hair salons and owners. So seems to be a lucrative market, and she's trying to cash in on it, so she's consolidating. However, Beauty and LaKenya comes by to check to see what's going on, because Beauty has invested some capital into Maya's business when it comes to seeking other revenue avenues by her buying, I don't know, a certain percentage of her company, or she's giving her money freely for her to invest into this hairline care that she's been doing for quite a while. So they kind of like are partners in this weave industry business with Maya. Beauty is who I'm speaking of. And, the Kia is accompanying her between this day that they come over to Maya's shop and try to figure out, well, what's going on? And, of course, Beauty's trying to figure out, I hope you're not closing up or going bankrupt because, I have invested into your hairline, this, that, and the other. And then Maya goes in to tell them, hey, she's going on another adventure. She don't need all these salon shops in every location. She proudly had 7. Now she's downsizing to 5. So she's really need to downsize to 3. Just have one on the west side, east side, excuse me, and south side. That'll be a little bit more geographically sound and revenue based, but we'll see where she goes with it. And then somehow Maya gets this idea where she's comparing herself to Jesus Christ or Yeshua, as I like to say, and Beyonce. Putting Beyonce on a spiritual plane as that, I don't think so. And she shouldn't be comparing herself either, because they're neither one are in that category. And Beyonce is in the entertainment business, not in this the scene of saving souls. And nor is Maya. So I don't know what foolishness crept out of her mouth when she put that to come out on live TV for us to critique and pretty much tearing at her for making that assumption or an analogy. So we move on from there. Um, Beauty is kind of like side shading LaKenya because it seems like they're talking in code, Beauty and Maya, when they're talking about some kind of hair show event coming up and this, that, and that other. And with LaKenya being a part of their group, she's talking and LaKenya's looking all weird, like, what are y'all talking about? What's going on? She's like, you didn't tell LaKenya. So I'm like, when were you going to tell LaKenya, Beauty? You know, or were you just going to have her over here that people are going to an event and she got to get ready at the last moment, but you call her a mentor or friend? I think not. Moving on from her, we go to Mashia. Mashia is going over business with her staff and her husband. And I'm still trying to figure out why is her husband on camera, period. You know what I'm saying? When men do business and they're talking business, they're just around their constituents or colleagues. And with Mashia being considered a boss, I wouldn't think she would have played that role where she's kind of like demeaning her husband and putting him in a servitude type stature when she's giving him orders and doing this, that, and the other. I mean, if that's going to be the issue or that's going to be how it rolls in her family, you know, keep that shit off camera. We don't want to see any woman demasculating their man. At least I took it as that. Like he was her servant and her chauffeur and her do guy or do man. You know, I'm like, hire people for that. Or better yet, if you're gonna pay him, you know, put him on payroll, he don't need to be seen. I'd rather see y'all eating out at a nice restaurant or the scene that you had when you and him and your family was having dinner together and, you know, talking about the qualities of life. It's not necessarily being financial, you know, million billionaires, but just to have a nice living. Making it honestly and you know raising your children and show them they can be entrepreneurs. They don't have to go out there and work for nobody. So I'm gonna need you to tighten up on that because you're giving me like Peter and Cynthia tease where like Peter he was just you know pretty much going behind Cynthia like a little puppy dog, but he was spending up her money, you know, and the realm of things, grand scheme of things that we come to find out. And I'm not saying Michelle's husband is doing that. I'm just saying, you know, we don't need to degrade our men. We don't need to put them in that self-service to position. Just let them flow off camera, you know, and you know, you do what you do, but just don't show us all of that because I got mixed feelings about that. So we move on from there. We go to LaKenya and Beauty. They're talking about Maya's closing. They don't sat and went to some eatery joint where they can eat their food on the outside, enjoy the weather. And of course, you know, Maya's not Maya, but Beauty's thinking about her investment. Is it going south? Should she be getting off the Maya train, boat, airplane, you know, environment or setting, and you know, capitalize on not spending or you know donating any more money in her business and just pretty much cut her losses and move on to another venture. So a lot of things are going in her head, and I can understand it because you're investing her money, and nobody has money to lose. But LaKenya is thinking about, well, where am I going to get my hair from? I'm like, she's my little lamb waiting to be slaughtered. She has not a clue of how to do business, or it's not coming across on TV. Seems like she's trying to float in two different worlds instead of just being herself and let herself shine when it's time. But it seems like she's being pulled from one side to the next. And when I say sides, I'm talking about Maya and their little crew and then Michelle wanted her to come over to her little crew, and it's just like, you're trying to be indoctrinated into something that you know nothing about. I think you just need to stay in your lane, build your business because you are a newbie when it comes to being a business owner, and you need to definitely be stacking your coins and not wasting them frivolously just to keep up with the Joneses or just to keep both sides intact as far as loyalty and friendship because you're gonna have to choose. Now, if it was me, no, I'm not choosing against nobody. I'm gonna have as many distributors as I want to. I'm not gonna be set to one unless I have this one that I'm dealing with and I'm making money with that person too, some serious money. Other than that, you know, my clients come first because I gotta make sure they're good. Because if they're not coming in my shop and they're not liking the product that I'm putting on their head, then I need to shut my doors, you know? So, hey, if Mashia has a line that looks closely and feel like your natural hair that people want to wear as an extension or a weave or wig, hey, I'm in for it. And then I can go to Maya when it comes to straight European type looking Asian hair or Brazilian hair and get the best from her. I feel all women are, winning because we're, supporting each other. So I don't know what the concept they're going with, where they have to be loyal to one or the other. Anyway, keep your loyalty to the Lord up above in your family. Others, it's just business. Okay. Then we move on to as LaKenya and Beauty are outside this restaurant eating and having a little small chit chat about the comings and goings of Maya's plans or closing up some shops, and they worried about that, about her revenue. Is it as strong as she appeared it to be? Mushia calls LaKenya to tell her about a new business adventure she wants to include LaKenya in. Of course, LaKenya's like talking out of her head. Like she can't talk to another female trying to introduce her to some business propositions. I mean, come on. You're just talking. You're just going over seeing basically what she wants to offer you and see how you fit in it. If you don't fit in it, fly out of it. Okay? Dag. But anyway, she goes on and hangs up, after accepting Mashia's what do you call it? For lack of a better word, because I can't really think at this time. She accepts our invitation to come over and see what she plans to have for her, for as a revenue, another stream of revenue that she can partake in other words. And she goes and tells Beauty about the conversation, and Beauty's just telling her to watch out because Mashia is a mess. And yes, Mashia is a mess, but she like if you're gonna be on her team, you're gonna be on her team, and you ain't gonna follow nobody else but her team. So that's a little childish. It's like high schoolish, and Lakia should rise above that. But anyway, we move on to Deirdre. Deirdre is talking to another fellow hairstylist. He's not a business owner, but he does hair, been doing it for a while in the ATL. And he's looking to become a cosmetology type instructor. So he's looking to educate himself a little further in getting that license to be able to teach other students about the hair industry and all that it has to offer. And his name is Trey. He's Deirdre's friend, and I say sidekick as well. And they're just at her studio, and they're just making small talk and talk with each other about the comings and goings and what's coming out, what new seminars they need to get involved in and learn from this, that, and the other. And somehow they get on to talking about leukemia, Mushia, and Maya and Beauty. And of course, the new people that hang around these people that are actually on the show, they bring in as their friends and whatnot. They always be trying to start some mess. But, I kind of like Trey. He grew on me. Uh, we moved from that situation. We go to the event that he was telling, me and Trey was telling Deirdre about. They pretty much crashed the event that really Jazzy, some girl on a radio spokesperson for 94.5 streets or something. I don't know what it was, but I have it in my imagery that you can see as far as my visuals. She's hosting an event as well as Beauty is putting herself out there and hosting with her to bring clientele in. It's just like a little hair show like the Bronner Brothers, but on a smaller scale. And of course, they have their panelists of people uh, that are there to answer any hair questions or how to start your salon and this, that, and the other. And Mushia as well as Maya are on the platform to be speakers to the audience if they had any questions. And of course, there are rivalries as well. So before the event starts, Trey is there and he's, I don't know, have his little section where I guess he talks about the hair he does, and he's seeing Maya as well as Beauty. And some other hairstylist owner, I don't know if she's a hairstylist. I'm gonna say Tony is her name that they gave us, and she's supposed to be a hair salon owner. But anyway, Trey goes up to introduce himself to the women, and I don't know what's wrong with mine. She must like she got a stick stuck up her ass. But anyway, she asked Trey, why is he here, in a sense? Why is he in their presence? Because they were having a private conversation. You know, Trey going and tell them, hey, I'm just trying to do the manly thing and come and introduce myself and let y'all know my credentials, why I'm here, and what I do. But damn, okay, you want me to just move on? I can. And then Maya see what she was wrong because she did come off kind of rude and harsh. So the women, entertained him for a few minutes, and then you got this little Tony. And I'm fat, but I was like, the shit that came out of Tony's mouth trying to be, nice, nasty, rude. Well, are you a hairstylist that do hair, or are you an owner? And I want to come through the screen and slap her upside her head and then throw her on the ground and then beat her, basically, because that was stupid as hell that she would ask a hairstylist, are you an owner or you just do hair? I mean, isn't that the formula or the foundation you must start at before you become a salon owner? I mean, that's, unless you got billions and millions of dollars, you can just go arbitrarily open up any spot or salons you want and then just hire people that are licensed to, conduct hair business, as far as managers or hairstylists. Then that's another whole avenue. You're just a business owner. You know what I'm saying? But you're trying to say he shouldn't even be in y'all presence because if he's not a hair salon owner, just because he does hair. Isn't that where you all start out, as doing hair, building your clientele, and then you branch into getting your own business? Like, she was stupid as fuck to even make that type of assumption. And I didn't like her from then. And I was so glad they edited the program or this episode where they didn't, nobody asked her any questions because I didn't want to hear anything from her. You know what I'm saying? She was like, a thought, a hopeless thought in my mind that was just like, oh, okay, I don't want to think about that, kill the image type of situation. Because she was just so rude to him. And I hate women that are rude, that call themselves have it all together financially as well as educational wise. But then you have a stank attitude that makes both attributes that you do have look like you're zero. Totally. Okay, we want to move off Tony. I hope she'll never be filmed again in this season because I don't like her just because she did that to Trey. Because she did it to him, she would do it to anybody else. And I just don't. Anyway, we're going to move on off of her. We're going to go to Deirdre and Trey. They show out. They go on to let the little panel discussion go on. And then honey Deirdre called herself getting on mushy about not knowing the history or when hair started with the natural thing. She go on to talk about telling Mushia that natural hair was all popping in the 70s. That's where it started. But no, Deirdre. No, baby. Natural hair started when you came out your mother's womb, being a male or female. And whatever you choose to do with it or your parents chose to do with your hair, that was their choice. But no, from birth, you're natural. It's when what you do when you find out about hair and you try and experiment is what you do to the hair. Okay, most people don't have the time. They adapted or assimilated themselves to looking European and they go and put perm and all this stuff, which is quite damaging to your hair. That's why, I've been natural since 2013, the end of 2013. Uh, and it's just, a hot mess how you could just make that dumb assumption. And I'm Team Deidre. I'm really Team all of y'all, except for, but not like every last one of them. They all kind of have a spunkness about them, both good and bad, and that's what you need to have that balance in your life. But Mushia is just too hilarious, as well as Deirdre. Then you got Deirdre's friend that she done made her friend, which is Pat Thomas. They're gonna be a force to be reckoned with, these three, because they crazy as hell. But I think Pat Thomas is gonna be the wicked one of them all. You know what I'm saying? Because she just, ooh, she looks evil and she talks evil, and then she's very calculated. So that makes her a triple threat for anything that can go down south. You know what I'm saying? Woo, too much. Okay. We move on for next situation. Because Deirdre and Mushi, and then they bringing in Maya. They're talking about natural curls, runaway curls. And, Latanya gets up there and asks the panel, pretty much a stupid ass question because she got herself stuck right in the middle. What is the difference and why do they feel that both products, that each women, meaning Maya and Mushia, is the best? And of course, Mushia's going to get out there and show her ass and everything, which she do very brilliantly. And she even gives a nice, nasty compliment to Maya, saying, if you want straight European hair with no texture or anything, hell, go on to Maya's place because she's more into quantity than quality. And if you want quality and a good hair product, you come see me. So they were just going at it, and I was there for it too. But that dog Deirdre jumped into the mess, and she was just cutting them all up. And then Trey, her friend, he was already hyped because Tony had dissed him, and then Maya had got rude with him at the beginning, so he didn't care one way or the other. Then they both sit up there and get thrown out. People asking them to leave. Beauty's calling security, and they just still cutting up on camera. Where you go on the red carpet and you be behind this platform to be taking pictures. Then there's up there taking pictures. Her and what you call it? Trey. And then Trey went on in on Beauty talking about you got your dress from uh Dave's and what is it? David Bright. What is it called, Shasta? David's Bridal. Okay, yeah, David's Bridal Show collection for wedding dresses and stuff, or other formal type occasion wear. And it was just that was funny as all get out. So they were having minced words, and it was funny. It was very hilarious. Then we leave that scene. We go to what is it? Trey and Deirdre are out one morning, I guess, or early afternoon, and like I said earlier, Trey is looking into becoming a cosmetologist instructor, and so he's checking out different schools. And one school he ran up on was some Touched by an Angel, a school that Pat Thomas. This is a new person they're introducing as a friend of Deirdre's, and Trey is also being introduced as a friend also. So I guess they'll be on the show routinely as her guest stars or whatever. And they go down Memorial Drive and they see one of Maya's hair salons, $50 weave stop in shop is up for sale. Or really up to rent, I should say. And they're laughing, and they have to go, and Deirdre have to make a U-turn to go physically see, what the sign is saying or any other information is on the door, this, that, and that. And they just start making fun of her. And I'm like, y'all know y'all need to stop. Because y'all might be in her same boat, but she's not seeming like she's bankrupting or anything of that nature. So they just thought it was funny. But I'm like, Deirdre, slow your roll now, honey. Because people could stop coming in your salon in a heartbeat too, and then you will be looking at putting your one store on lockdown, or going to another business altogether because you don't have no clients to pay your bills or on your suite that you're leasing. But anyway, we leave that situation. We go to Beauty, putting down. Oh yeah, we go into the situation where we have Beauty is out at Georgia State University here in Georgia with her son. And I don't know what the hell he on a hoverboard for while they filming this particular episode. I thought that was stupid as hell. That showed me he wasn't ready to go out of town to be on his own to do no colleges or taking part in no colleges because he's still immature. I mean, you're filming, meaning you're setting an example for other young, impressionable young men, and you're on a hoverboard going down the street with your mama walking, and that's just I hope you want to script the scene. But I hope it's never be shown in that light anymore because that was just a stupid scene. I'm like, get off that hoverboard, act like you got some freaking sense because we're talking on TV. Okay, we making moves here. But anyway, he's going on telling his mama he want to check out some schools out of town. I'm like, unless you got a daddy that's helping you pay, or you got a full paid scholarship with takes care of your room, board, tuition, and books, your behind will be in Atlanta, and when you begin a student loan, and I'll be helping you pay for it. Okay, that's how it would roll. So I wasn't really here for that whole scene. But then Beauty, as sheer, noticing her environment and the setting and stuff, She goes in and notices these young ladies' hair that's walking by on campus, and she just thinks it's just appalling how they have taken up with the natural hairstyle and they don't want anything better as far as looks. And then she goes on to say when she was in college, she took some of her educational money that was supposed to be for books and other things academic. She academically she took half of that money when she got her hair done to look pretty. I'm like beauty, beauty, beauty. You are so uh your brain's not functioning at this time. I'm like, have y'all forgot that y'all on a reality show, that y'all are filming live and they couldn't edit and show the worst of you when it's in a situation where they want to create drama? I mean, come on. How you going to tell these successfully young women that's trying to make their way through school and become better citizens of society and definitely be able to sustain a living after college and paying their tuitions and stuff, or some things that didn't get paid while they were attending school? I mean, that's the least of their worries. They're going to school to fill their heads up with knowledge and power. They don't have time to be sitting here being all beautified. They just be sitting at looking at an instructor. I mean, are you freaking kidding me? So I was just really, she just lost the point with me when it comes to her morals and her values and her vision on how ladies should look and appeal. I'm like, were you that way before you got student money, extra money from college? You know, where I don't even want to discuss it because it's just getting me irritated. So I'm just going to fall back on her altogether. Then we go to the last and final scene where Trey and Deirdre, tries to talk with what's her name, Pat Thomas, about Thompson, about Maya using her as she was the one that started the $50 hair weave salons versus what Pat Thomas is telling them. She started this back in the late 1990s type of situation. I'm like, unless it was a patent idea, you didn't start anything, Pat. Let's keep it real. Because if it was, you could sue her and you could make back pay money off of her if that was in fact the truth. Because you could tell an idea and put it out there in the atmosphere, and if you ain't got no money to patent it, down the road you'll have somebody done so-called took your idea, okay, and ran with it. But there's no proof, there's no paper trail. You have nothing, Pat. So give that up. But anyway, Deirdre and Trey felt like what they were trying to get Pat Thomason to get involved in was, cussing out Maya and putting her in her place of who is the real true queen of the $50 hair weave salon. It wasn't She wasn't giving Deirdre them what they wanted. So Deirdre gonna call her and Trey to go down to Jazzy at some radio station here in Atlanta called 94.3 or 5, or a hip hop station or whatever, and they're gonna go tell their side and they try to blast her over the airways of being fraudulent and she's not the true inventor or creator of the $50 hair weaves and salons, you know, uh, type of platform. It was another lady. And I'm like, you're going off so much speculation. Unless the lady could show me in writing and her ideal is patent. Oh, bull, Deirdre, you too smart for this. You make yourself look like an ass. But anyway, I enjoyed the show. We'll plan on trying to do more of them when they come down each week. And look forward to you all dialoguing with me and putting your comments of what you thought of my review or the show, and we can dialogue that way. Other than that, blessings and peace to you and yours. Talk to you later. Bye bye.